I recall your tracker from last week. Then the tracker data showed BJP at 40.8%. This week they are at 42. And the SP-RLD combined last week was showing at 33%. This time they are at 35. Dono hi. They are approximately 2 percentage points higher this week. What has happened in the last 1 week?
I think it is getting more and more bipolar. I mean, first of all, this data which shows the Western UP, this includes the Rohilkhand and quite a substantial area which covers the Braj as well. I mean, so this Western UP is not just the Western UP as many people understand in the typical belt of Harit Pradesh as such. So it also
Hmm.
includes the Rohilkhand, which if you will actually analyze separately in the region of Rohilkhand, then probably in the remaining Western UP the gap would be much less, and it would be quite close in terms of vote share. Another thing which I want to tell you, Aditi, here is that the BJP's vote share, which seems to be higher than the SP and RLD at this point of time, has also to do with the fact that BJP has many urban seats in the Western UP, which they have been winning with extraordinary large margins, you
Hmm.
know, which skews their overall vote share in the region. ये वैसी सीटें हैं जो गाजियाबाद, नोएडा, इधर के पूरे कुछ आगरा में, कुछ मथुरा में जो अर्बन सीट्स हैं, ये 1-1 लाख के मार्जिन तक से भी बीजेपी निकालती है, which is like a margin which generally you are likely to see in Lok Sabha elections. So what
Hmm.
happens is that due to these high margin seats, the overall BJP vote share, the regional vote share seems to be high. But if you pull out those about approximately 10 seats, high margin BJP seats from this entire game, then all of a sudden you realize कि actually BJP का vote share तो 4-5% धब्बे से नीचे आ गया, and they are also around 35-36%, and that is where we say that contest is kind of cramped up, and there is a very strong sentiment of anti-incumbency or anger against the BJP, particularly in the seats and districts where there is a significant Jat population, and more so particularly in the seats where Jayant Chaudhary's party RLD is contesting. So, I mean, you invert the pyramid and then you realize that the Jat's anger against the BJP is not uniform, just exactly the way your reporter just said, and he was also talking to us before the show started, that ऐसा नहीं है कि पूरे इसमें एक तरीके से इधर से उधर तक सब एक हो गया है. एक्चुअली जब तक टिकट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नहीं हुआ था या सीट का एडजस्टमेंट नहीं हुआ था, द ट्रैकर वाज शोइंग मच मोर यूनिफॉर्म Jat voting for SP-RLD alliance. After the ticket distribution, however, there are significant deviation. Significant deviation. Jat's maximum sympathy or affinity is for RLD and Jayant Chaudhary. Maximum
Hmm.
sympathy and maximum empathy, affinity, love is all to personally towards Jayant Chaudhary and RLD. Second,
Interesting. It's not for Akhilesh, is what you're saying.
it's not in the same range for Akhilesh and SP, and particularly more so, definitely not in favor of seats where SP has given the minority candidates belonging to minority communities. So
Hmm.
this is where different shades of Jat affinities is also emerging. But having said that, courtesy the RLD and Jayant Chaudhary, there is a considerable, significant, tailwind for SP-RLD alliance, and this is the region where right from the day one we have been reporting maximum damage for the BJP among all the regions of Uttar Pradesh.